Over time, I noticed that I was getting frustrated with the conversations I was having with the people that just happened to be in my life. I noticed that when I was writing, I was intentionally thinking about what was important, what was interesting to me, how I wanted to convey things, and the conversations I was having with myself on paper. And, it got to the point where, why can't I naturally have these with other people? It's because the conversations I was having with the people that just happened to fall in my life and cross my path in a pedestrian way. I mean, the people you work with are the people you work with. The family members you have, they have their own personality. It's rare that you can, have someone with a depth of interest that you do. I started to cultivate and have conversations with myself on paper as a writer, and then on videos like this, but then also seek out and create the environments where I could actually have quality conversations with other individuals. And here's the thing, unless you start having more quality conversations, writing yourself, developing your vocabulary, and having more mature discussions about these important things that matter to you, and not just simply having fun, because these ideas are important, a lot of these things. What you know is only ever what you feel you know, until you start exercising those thoughts through expression and language. That means writing, that means conversation. Exercising control over your thinking by articulating your sentences. A lot of guys, because they don't have either the social interaction or they're not exercising talking, but rather just repeating memes, you're not verbalizing and having quality conversations, so everything gets degraded. If you're just talking in acronyms and cliches and WTFs and LOLs, then guess what your thinking is like? Your verbalization and your thinking becomes retarded in the literal sense. I'm not talking retarded in the derogatory sense, because it's in the same way that if you're in a relationship with a person, you can't have a conversation. Your mental faculty goes down. Verbal acuity goes down when you're around people where you can't have conversations. Or if you just simply don't have conversations. You don't have quality conversations, you don't verbalize things. All you're doing is you're in your head typing. You're typing and you're reading other people's typing. You're not exercising faculties, verbal or mental ones, in that fluid sense, the in and out, that you normally once would. How you think is much, much more important than what you think. Because what you think can simply be parroted from somebody else. But how you express your own processed thoughts compels you to articulate them well. It requires you to express them naturally. Expressing your thoughts better is having control over what you think. I suggest you don't sit in echo chambers tossing memes around. Here's the hypergamy ball, here catch. Now you say it. It just becomes a witty stand-up comedy routine almost. But the person then is not exercising thinking, but shallow memory. And then in effect, that memory is drawing on others' cliches and intelligent quotes to speak for them as one-liners. You're asking someone else's words to be your words. Pay attention to what's going on in front of you and not simply retrieving cliches that'll defend you or make you appear witty. I've said it previously in videos that if you can, if it's an interest to you, I would encourage you to write, because it's a way of calibrating and expressing your thoughts on paper, seeing what you're thinking on paper in a physical form as a third person, reading it, and then actually seeing how well you think, how well you write, and the discrepancy between how you write and how you speak. I'm always wanting to speak more like I write, because my writing is a lot clearer. For me, expressing myself is the release valve. It's the salvation. It's the sanity. I mean, this is why I write and this is why I make videos. So a lot of what I write down gets processed from here and comes out of here. I want to be able to speak like I write and like I think. It is little to do with just the rudimentary information of red pill ideas. The more important thing is your expression of those ideas and then your action in your own life. You don't just get to be free from the things that are oppressing you, bad jobs, bad women, things that are unfair to you, and then you think you're happy and you're free when you get rid of them. Don't forget that part of the reason it feels so good to be liberated from things that are oppressing you and that you don't like being around is that fight for freedom. Now, part of elucidating and improving your thinking is continuing to fight for the words, to make sense of things. And don't forget, if you're rooted in expressing your thoughts, you're also exercising attention, which means that you're aware of other options, other opinions, another perspective. And the awareness of another point of view, and especially another point of view that pops up in your own head, is a great way to appreciate the point of view of somebody else. That is, you can recognize and develop empathy and sympathy. And that's real individual freedom for me. Disciplined attention. And another thing that individuality is, and individual thinking is the freedom to decide what has meaning for you. You get to decide how you see things, and you get to express that decision. The alternative is just to be a pedestrian like everybody else, sleepwalk through life, but somehow I doubt you'd be interested in listening to me if you were that kind of person. Improving my thinking, having these kind of conversations with you, and in effect with myself. But after this, if you don't have actually any clarity in your life, you can't even verbalize it, you're not around people with any sense of clarity, you're all joking around about your pain, about women, about the jobs you hate, about the lives you live, about frustrations left, right and center from when you wake up to when you go to bed. Do you want to make your life better? It's not a grandiose statement. It's a simple statement. It's all you have, your life. And it's fine to say, I'm free, I'm going my own way. But are you? Or have you just severed the strings that were once attached to you? Anyway, chew on that and I'll talk to you later. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. To be notified of my content, hit the bell icon and select all, and follow me on Instagram too. Link and share, comment below, and join my Discord for real-time conversations with me and other subscribers. If you'd like to support me directly, there are donation options below. I really appreciate all of you who do. Thank you. Exercising control over your thinking by articulating your sentences.